A very good morning. In my last session, I clearly explained what is a Git tag and how you are creating any branch in the Git. And I clearly explained the need of a branching concept, right? So make use of this fundamentals. Today, I'm going to be give you some more information related to the Git is how we are doing the merging. That's very important thing. And the problems we are facing at the time of merging also, I'll tell you in very simple. Okay. Now I'll go with the next slide. So in this slide, you just go through this remote repository. So obviously, a repository is nothing but what is the folder you created on our Git account that we call it as a repository. Now the remote repositories are the versions of our project. So maybe depends on our project. Obviously, everything it will be getting updated, right? Every time. So whatever the work we are assigned by someone, obviously we used to be do some updation. Depends on the end user requirement. So that we call it as a remote repository. That's what they are telling that a remote repository is version of our project. It might be any number of version. Depends on the client. We used to be do lot of changes on our repository. So obviously it is going to be where it is going to be stored. It is going to be stored in our Git account only, right? So that is what they are telling. Internet or somewhere in the online, that is we consider as a remote repository. What this remote branches will tells you. So remote branches are the local branches that cannot be removed. That's what they are telling. And they can act as a markers for the reminding where they are located in remote repository during the last login. This will be the very important thing, and this is the thing we needed every time, right? Because of this branches only we can easily identify where we did the last work and in where what is the system we are used, what is the IP address, everything will be we can access, we can fetch because of this remote repository. The only point is that other remote branches, the problem is that once you be created, we never be deleted. We never be moved from one to be other places. That's what they are telling. So upstreaming branches also be the branch upstream means once you take that branch into the so you just see local branch connected with the remote. Once you created any branch, after that you are make it as a remote. That means obviously it is there in the internet that we call it as upstreaming the branch. The three words I am telling that repository is nothing but a folder, a remote repository, a folder which is there in the online, a remote branches. The only point is that we cannot move. They are using to extract the information. And the last one is upstreaming our branches is to be take our local branches into the online or into the remote. We call it as the upstreaming the branches, right? So now, by the continuation, this one, after you creating any branches, I wanted to be cloned, right? So my repository name, you just see git clone http colon github.com/Sean Con. It is a name, right? Name of a user. Now, tick git is my branch, is my repository. Okay, in my GitLab, my repository is that one, and the username is this one, Sean. If I want to create a repository or if I want to clone your repository, obviously mention the repository name followed by the username followed by your Git. It's simply a link. Obviously, once you open your Git account, then take that link. Take that link. You just write git clone. You take the command. What you just take this one from the address bar. You paste it in, right? So to see the remote branches, what we are going to be use the command is git space remote. You see the versions. Obviously, git space remote hyphen v. So the last one is list of remote repository on our servers. So show origin, git space remote, show space origin. So if I wanted to add a remote repository, then what I am going to be doing is git remote add origin, then followed by your repository. What you did here it is, I'll tell you very simple point about these 5 points is I took a repository. Just I am taking my repository into the online. That means git cloning. Just I am taking. After that, to see or to fetch the information, I am using hyphen v. If I wanted to see every repository on my server side, I'm using show origin. At last, if I wanted to add any repository, remote repository, obviously what is the command we are using is git space remote add origin, then followed by the your repository address. Make use of this command, we can do everything, right? The last one is if I wanted to be, you just say how we are going to be perform uh, what we call fetching operation, pull operation, merging, everything we are doing here. If I want to download, that means if I want to fetch anything, I'm using git fetch, right? Then followed by what is the option you want it to be, then repository name. If I want to pull, git space pull. If I want to upload something, so after you updating everything, if you want to update that one into your project, git pull, okay? So then a push is to be enter into the to takes our content into our project, right? So hyphen u also be there mentioned allowed to be track the master branch on the origin repository. Next command, what it is there, it will be used for the pushing everything, right? So fetch is used for synchronizing the remote branches. The pull is to be automatically extract and then gather data from remote branches into your current one. And the push is to be send local changes to the tracking remote branch in the repository. So make use of this command, we can perform reading and writing operation. That means if you wanted to be send something or if you wanted to be retrieve something, obviously I'm using the commands is fetch, pull and the push operation, right? Now the next one, you see this one. Git merging is very important. Git merging. Git merging, basically whenever you see, I'll tell you one point is if we had multiple branches are there, in any case, obviously I need the future of two branches. At that case, what I need to be do, take them into the one branch. So merging is Git's way of putting a folk history back together again. Git merging command lets you take the independent lines of development created by the grid branches and integrated them in a single branch. That's what they are telling. Multiple branches, we just integrate them into the one branch, depends on our convenience. So you just see here the git merge will combine multiple sequences of commits into one undefined history. In the most of frequent use cases, git merge is used to combine two branches. Just you see here git checkout hyphen b new future. Just I am take that new feature created and I was there in the new feature also. Git add title, then just I'm taking one file, git add file, I'm taking some file. After that I committed my future. Then if I wanted to do anything, like if I wanted to be edit something, then obviously I'm doing some finishing operation. After that we are merging that git space merge, then we take the new future. What is the one you understand here? It is already existing file is there, right? If you want to be take the additional feature into my existing project, then obviously I'm using the git merge space new feature. That's what they are telling. The problem with the git merging is very simple thing is that the merge, basically we are facing some conflict. The conflict is only because of if you are having two files with the same version. If they are having the same version, obviously we are not in a position to be take that advanced feature or new feature into the current working project. So that is what they are telling. If the two branches you are trying to be merge both, change the same part of the same file, git won't to be able figure out which version to be used. That's what it's very important thing. So then obviously they are in some confusion which one I has to be take up to the next level. So because of that, once you be trying to be merge any number of branches, the very important point you supposed to be taking care is what is the version control of branch one. The other one is what is the version control of other branch also. Here they clearly mention that they take two things with the same version. Obviously, once you be trying to be take the merging, it will be raised a conflict. So that is the problem with the git merging. So these are the conflicts we used to be faced while you are working with the git merging, right? So I hope you all understand what is the need of this one, how we are going to be merging these two, right?